This week on Outdoor Bound TV, we're off to Manitoba, Canada for a father-son hunting trip with prostaffer Bryan Bogdan and his father Allan, who calls Saskatchewan home. On most father-son outings, Dad plays the role of guide, but on this trip, Bryan gets the opportunity to assist his 77-year-old father on a trophy black bear hunt from a ground blind with his Mission Crossbow.
What a beautiful animal.
Unbelievable.
Another great hunt.
Oh, what a day. Look at that.
That is a bear.
That's a giant walleye.
Outdoor Bound TV is brought to you by Mission by Matthews and Vortex Optics.
Mission Crossbow sets a new standard in crossbow design with the all-new Sub 1. With over 26 revolutionary patents, including 80% let-off SyncX cam system and CNC machined flight deck, the Sub 1 is the most accurate crossbow the world has ever seen. Featuring benchmark fire control, the Sub 1 is the first crossbow that allows you to safely decock with the push of a button. Unparalleled maneuverability, quality, and accuracy. The Sub 1 redefines the crossbow experience.
What we chase cannot simply be caught. And what propels us takes far more than fuel. The distance we go is never measured in miles. And we find there's always more at the end of the line. Your moment is out there. Find it.
Duncan Creek Wood Creations is putting quality, handcrafted products from the North Woods of Wisconsin right at your fingertips. Offering a full line of custom wood furniture, bedroom sets, dining room tables, and cabinets. Available today. Simply go to our website to select any of our in-stock, handcrafted, custom-made bars, bar stools, cribbage boards, and end tables. Shipped directly to your door in just days. Duncan Creek Wood Creations.
Hi everyone, welcome to Outdoor Bound TV. I'm Kurt Walbeck. You know, we're here in Alberta doing a little pre-hunting season training to get ready for some of our fall mountain hunts. While we get ready to head up the mountain, we're going to send you to northern Manitoba, where prostaffer Bryan Bogdan and his father Allan are getting ready to head out on a Manitoba black bear hunt, something that's been on Allan's bucket list for a long time. Now I know Bryan's equally excited about giving back to his father, who was so instrumental in getting him involved in the outdoors. Let's head to Manitoba and meet up with a father-son duo at Bryan's Wekusko Falls Lodge right now.
My name's Allan Bogdan. I've lived in Saskatchewan all my life. I grew up on the farm and kept on farming till 3 years ago. I thought after 70 it was time to let a young guy do it. And since Bryan got this place, we have a beautiful place to come to every time we want to leave the farm.
So we had set up a couple baits out of our allocation for this hunt. We just did the typical oats and oil and butter icing. And so we've had those baits running for about a month already now, actually. And they just kept getting better and better and better and better. And you know, so we had tree stands set up there and had ideas of where to put the ground blind, but they destroy a soft blind. So I didn't want to ever put it up until it was the day of the day. And so when you see them on eye level, it's a completely different feel than sitting up in a tree, because you no longer feel as safe. You might have felt safe, but you know, I know things can go just, when you see those animals move in their element, you have a new respect for it.
Smaller bear came in, he sniffed around, he started eating a little bit, and then he came to attention. There was other bears coming. I was surprised that we were in the ground blind. We didn't really have that much scent protection, but I think he knew we were there, but he didn't seem to bother. As long as we didn't move, he didn't come any closer. And all of a sudden he got an idea in his head that he should chase that sow away. That's when you can see how fast he moved. That sow didn't have a chance. When he rushed that barrel, she just had to turn, and he was almost on top of her when she was running away.
People do not recognize how strong and how fast a bear really is.
I would liken it to the same thing on the farm, and we have bulls with the cattle. And these bears kind of are like a bull. They can move just like so quick that you can't even see the head move. And that's what these bears represent, quick movement and powerful.
We got a bear circling right behind us right now. This is awesome, intense action.
Well, we had the, what I call little Shaggy. He is only a 130 pounder, 140 pounder, and you know, he gave you the first opener about how close these bears are going to come to us. And he had a little bit of separation. He wasn't a nose into the blind type of bear, but he was inquisitive enough to get in tight. But that one boar that came in, you know, he's a mature boar that just hasn't filled out yet. He was a very tall bear. And as those bears get bigger, they usually block you up inside the chest and they'll start pigeon-toeing. And that one actually came in straight-legged. So he's just young, and it actually takes them up to 9 years before they get their full mature bone growth. So I'm gonna guess he's right around that 7, 8, 9, and now he's gonna start widening out. But a lot of people wouldn't even have thought twice about that bear, and that was where the comment of the you can't shoot a 180 if you shoot a 160 comes into play. Then we got a C3-legger, and you want to talk about a resilient animal. Like, it looks like that she was probably born like that. There's no scar tissue around the leg, and there's no movement, zero movement around the shoulder or in the little piece of a nub that she has there. To see how an animal in this territory of this type of landscape with only 3 legs can still move and survive and defend herself from, you know, wolves and other bears, it's absolutely incredible. And it just shows the resilience of what animals up here can have. And living in the North Country, you have to have resilience, and you have to be able to make do with what you have in order to basically survive, human or animal.
Basically, I've hunted and fished all our lives. We used to take the kids as soon as they were old enough to go with us. We used to go at least for a week up northern Saskatchewan, and we'd fish. I think that's where he got the bug. The first time we took him up, I think he was about maybe 9 years old, and he caught a great big pike, and he caught the biggest pike of the trip, and I think that was the hooking point.
I remember the first time he let me shoot at a partridge. I was only 7 or 8, and he gave me the 12 gauge, and we walked in a stubble field in the quarter north of the house. I don't even remember that. And the covey flew, and all I did was lift the gun and pull the trigger. And at that young and not having the gun on the shoulder, you might have thought I might have been scared to shoot the gun again, but we didn't get anything, of course, but I remember that one. But I remember, you know, we'd always did spot and stalk when we waterfowl hunted. Because we were more of a meat harvesting mentality, so the least amount of pellets in a bird, the better. So we'd spot and stalk onto a flock, and I remember he'd leave me in the truck if he didn't think I could, if the stalk was too far, and I'd sit there just waiting for that anticipation of how many birds we're going to have to clean and how many birds we're going to have to go look for. So we progressed between whitetail and mule deer and elk and moose and pronghorn. And you know, we did fur bears, we trapped, and we did everything, but bear was something that we never did. I did a little bit of it myself when I worked up in northern Saskatchewan at a fishing camp, but it wasn't something that was ever really on our bucket list, I would say, for us to just go and do together.
Well, we never did stand hunting, so it was a brand new kind of hunting.
Yeah. I know a lot of kids out there, especially sons, don't get that father figure or that male role model to be able to pass on a passion like this, that maybe they want to hunt or fish and they just don't get that opportunity. And so that was a big reason as well for coming up with doing something like this with you, is because, you know, I cherish those memories. The more opportunities I can get that with you, you know, I really hold those dear to my heart. And
the other thing is do them while we can, because it's tough coming on a hunting and fishing trip if you have to be close to a hospital or close to care all the time. So do it while you still can.
Okay, so the evening is coming to an end. We're losing camera light, so we're busting out of here before we push any bears out. The rain on and off, but we did see some great bears. We actually passed up on a bear that most hunters wouldn't even think twice about, but we just know that there's a bigger one, and in order to shoot a great big bear, you've got to pass up those great big bears. So we're going to hope that doesn't come back to get us later, but I'm pretty confident that we're in a good area. We've got a lot of bears, the rut's on, so if we hold out, we'll get something that we really want. So you don't go anywhere, because Outdoor Bound TV will be right back after these messages.
Outdoor Bound TV is brought to you by Amsoil Synthetic Lubricants and Mountain Dew.
Big Bear Down. Whether you're looking for a sweet recipe for bear bait or quality bear scents, we've got you covered. Big Bear Down offers all their bait selections by the bag, the barrel, or in bulk. From crushed sugar cones, trail mix, and granola to our syrups, frostings, and bait toppings, we've got the variety to keep the most cautious bears coming back again and again. Big Bear Down scents can be used as an attractant or cover scent and draws bears in from miles around. Look for Big Bear Down by our distributing at 2 convenient Wisconsin locations or at a retailer near you.
Northland Auto Center, the Midwest's premier dealer of Yeti fish houses, introduces the 2018 line of Ultimate All-Season Trailers, built for summer fun, fall hunting, and winter ice fishing. The Yeti ranges in size from 16 to 21 feet, and you're sure to find the perfect layout to fit your family. With unique designs featuring a kitchen and bathroom, your opinion of a fish house will never be the same. See the pros at Northland Auto Center to create your own legend with Yeti.
Optimizer by HHA Sports. The Optimizer Kingpin marks the 3rd generation of archery's #1 selling single pin adjustable sight. On the range or in the field, start ruling your kingdom today with the Optimizer Kingpin. The Optimizer Speed Dial. Extend the range and accuracy of your crossbow to the yard accuracy with a single reticle. Simply range, dial, and shoot. All Optimizer sight systems are made in the USA and carry a 100% lifetime guarantee. Ask for Optimizer at a dealer near you.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Now before we left you for the break, prostaffer Bryan Bogdan and his father Allan were hunting black bear in northern Manitoba from a ground blind. Now Allan's got his sub 1 crossbow all sighted in and ready to go. So let's head back to Manitoba and see if this duo can put one of these Manitoba Bruins on the ground.
So our schedule here generally runs that we are able to fish in the morning, and then we have our big lunch because you're going to be in the blind for a while, and then we go out usually around 3:30 to 4. And some people will say, why don't you morning hunt? Well, the issue here is we're getting to our longest days of the year, you know, June 21st, and it's early June now, so we generally have close to 19 hours of light.
Nice one. Yeah. A little too big for keeping. Well, we'll see. Yeah, that's 22 there, so we're 23 and a half. Beauty.
In order to beat the bears, you have to leave at 3 and you get home at 1. So why would you even bother? So it's basically get in, nestle in your stand around 5, and you're still sitting for 6 hours. And those are usually the best 6 hours. So you don't want to be shifting around when you're bear hunting. So if you're sitting there for 10, 12 hours, day after day and long nights, it gets long.
So the beautiful thing about when we're bear hunting up here is you gotta go fishing in the morning while you go bear hunting in the evening. So that's exactly what we did. We just getting out for an hour, and Allan looks like he's hooked into something really good. Fish is a fish. Corner of the mouth, barbless hooks, pop right out. Oh, and look at that, what's inside of that. A big old Cisco. Let's shake that out of him, because we're gonna eat this fish. Oh, it's a perch.
It's a perch.
So this is what they're coughing up is perch, 4 to 6 inch long, and even 21-inch fish are eating beats this size. So they're just in here feeding, wind's pounding, typical walleye chop, fish the windy side, and you can catch great Manitoba gold just like that.
That's just our schedule. Take the morning off a little ways, breakfast at 9, go fishing for a few hours, kick your feet back, and then have a big lunch, get ready, and go hit the stand.
Drink's okay. What is it? I think it's a Laker. It is a Laker. Oh boy! Look at that, Allan. Multi-species, hey?
Yes, for this lake, that's good.
Yeah, probably 32-incher.
I didn't think they were in this corner.
Well, the wind's blowing here, water temperature's right, they'll push in shallow just like walleye. And unfortunately, fishing's good, but we got to get back into the bear stand. So we'll let this one go, head back to the lodge, and see what we can find tonight.
Yep, maybe we'll catch a bear bigger than that fish.
Yeah.
Well, the first thought and the first thing I told him, yeah, I'll bring my .338. And he said, oh no, I want you to do it with a crossbow. So I'd never used a crossbow before. So I figured that was going to be interesting, so I said yeah. And then when I got up here...
Wait. Oh. Then you had to ask Mom for permission.
Okay.
Remember that part?
Oh yeah, maybe I did ask her.
You asked her, yeah.
Yeah, and because she thinks the bears are dangerous. So, and then when I got up here, we did the practice. And yes, it shoots where you pointed.
That sub 1 from Mission, it's such a good shooting crossbow that there was no question on my part whether or not you have the capabilities of making a shot with that.
The first thing that surprised me is that there's no recoil. Like my shoulder is supposed to be replaced, but I'm not going to. And so the recoil of just a 20 gauge shotgun, I can feel it. And there was absolutely no recoil.
Shooting it is a breeze.
The one thing that we were kind of waiting for is they have a picture of a huge bear that I think I called it a coast bear, but they have a picture on camera. And if you get that one, you're getting probably a 20-year-old bear. And it would be a trophy, so the first night we were kind of waiting to see if that guy would come in. So we had a bear that other people would have shot. But I was waiting for that big one.
On the second night, we had to go to Plan B because the big old, very knowledgeable Chocolate was not coming around. The sow that he was following was done with heat, and so he was out of there and he never came back. So we'd go and check that camera first, see if he came back for the new sow or sow check to see if we even had a chance at it. He wasn't on there. So we'd go right back to Plan B and go to the other stand, which held a lot of sows and a little boar. So when you're hunting the rut, it's kind of an all or nothing thing. You can't expect big bears to be coming into the baits and just eating. So, you know, that's hunting. Sometimes it just doesn't happen as we plan it out.
The most exhilarating thing is to be in a ground blind when a bear is face to face with you.
That is.
But you do want to be with a guide, because I felt totally safe. I wasn't worried. Even if he came in the tent, I knew somebody else was going to punch him.
Some people come up here to hunt bears, and that is specifically to make a harvest. And that's not at all what this hunt was about. Success for me is memories, because you could perhaps shoot the largest bear in the world and something happens to that rug at the taxidermist. Or for example, if you're whitetail hunting and you're trying to beat that special number of 170 and you hit 163 or 167 and your dreams become crushed. And I learned that. I wanted, with that one mule deer, big, non-typical, full velvet, and it didn't make a buck, and my dreams were crushed because it didn't make a special number, and I completely forgot about the hunt. We do it because it's heritage, we do it because it's tradition, we do it because I think it's in our DNA, myself and you've passed that DNA to me, that's my passion. And having success of harvesting, to me, isn't near as a success of an experience. Every night we had action, and you know, we had some insane close encounters that you know, I know that you won't forget. And you know, when you got bears coming close to licking the end of the crossbow, you know you're tight. The experience means more to me than a harvest.
The big deer that I've got, every time I've got them mounted on the wall in my, what you call it, family room, and every time I look at them, that memory of how we took that deer and that antelope, they're all become fresh. They never fade away. So all these memories, I'll be dreaming about them at night. And I'll be able to think about it, and I'm only 77, so I get to do it again.
Outdoor Bound TV is brought to you by the W.C. Russell Moccasin Company and Brewpub Pizza.
Brewpub Pizza is specifically designed with the hungry in mind. It's big, it's bold, and it's outrageously delicious. Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies, topped with over a ½ pound of real Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. When you're looking for the ultimate pizza adventure, when you crave a really serious pizza that brings the great Brewpub experience, this is the one. Pick it up today at your favorite local grocer. Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
We handle your races, your jumps, and your trails. Isn't it time you give your daily driver the same love? AmSoil's Signature Series Synthetic Motor Oil delivers 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by leading industry standards. And now, ordering AmSoil is even easier. Simply log on to qcamsoil.myamsoil.com and have quality AmSoil products delivered right to your door.
Stephen Peace, professional walleye tournament angler. We're up at Bill and Gail High's Bowen Lodge on Lake Winnie. Most people come up here to do a little walleye fishing. Sometimes for a change of pace, we like to take our number 5 or number 7 Berkeley flicker shads, put it 8 or 10 feet behind an offshore tackle planer board, and send it all the way up in that 2 and 3 and 4 foot of water in the shallows for big northerns.
For more great fishing tips, log on to bowenlodge.com.
Excellent. Oh, there's a good one. Awesome.
Beautiful fish.
Look at how he ate that,
He
too.
ate that Google Eye jig.
This is the Google Eye. It's available in a live bait series and then a long hook shank series. And what we did is we took a glass rattle and built it into the middle of the round jig head. And just bouncing it, it hits the bottom, that glass rattle's rattling and it's sending off vibration in this dirty water in this river. And that's the result right there.
This one's coming home with me.
Outdoor Bound TV is brought to you by Rapala and HHA Sports.
You know, I think as hunters, we all tend to put a lot of pressure on ourselves to harvest an animal to consider a trip successful. Now, even though Bryan and Allan had plenty of opportunities to harvest on this trip, I think they were able to define successful a little different way, and that was getting the time to spend together. Now, we hope that you'll join us again here next week when we'll bring you more great hunting and fishing action from around the U.S., around Canada, and around the world, right here on Outdoor Bound TV.
That's why the first night the bear spray was ready in your hand. So I knew he was going to get a squirt if he came too close.
Yeah, but it only helps to bring your bear spray when you forget it on day 4. It's not much any good. It doesn't work very good from the truck.